Okay, the
secured
qualification.
playoffs.
Got it.
Yeah, so the last week, only one person, and that's OQ.
All right, well, we have entered picks and bans for what could be the last game of the NA Challenger Series Spring Split. Apex are up 2-1 in this. If they take this win, they will move into the promotion tournament with that first place secured, with that first round bye, straight into double elimination. Now, Team Dragon Knights, following similar ban patterns so far. Twisted Fate banned away, along with Lulu. Again, gotta keep OQ down. Do not let him get onto a hyper carry.
Yeah, don't allow that Lulu to enable the Lucian or whatever he's going to play. Twisted Fate at Keen, because what ends up happening is when you're red side, you get to counterpick and you get to realize, oh, this is probably a really great place to pick Twisted Fate because he's going to destroy Nidalee and so on. And look at that, Kalista from blue side here, looks like they don't even want to play it if it's available as a first pick for TDK.
Yeah, a lot of respect to Police in that last game. He was huge during that match. Now, Poppy is going to follow it up from Apex. This is the final ban for Team Dragon Knights.
Corki?
They banned it out
Graves?
Several times before.
What
Graves is very strong. And this is really setting up that triumvirate of strong picks. Nautilus, Graves, still up there. Corki. And yeah, that's going to be the Corki. Banned away from Keen or Police. And Trundle banned away from Team Dragon Knights.
Okay, so Nidalee, Graves, and you also have Nautilus on the table. And it's going to be Nidalee again here. Oh, man. Just take both.
Yeah, Nautilus and Graves instantly locked in. We'll see who ends up getting what, as those can be flexed just about everywhere. And they've got Eve.
Yes, they have Eve, who plays damage junglers like Graves, but here's the thing on top of that. You said these are flex picks. Yes, Chris and Keen can flex both of these between each other. It can be a mid lane Nautilus, it could be a mid lane Graves, and vice versa to the top. That is huge for Apex, swapping it back and forth, because if they end up picking a tank top laner, then they're able to play Graves into it if they want, or Nautilus, depending. And with Trundle off the field, they took the counter away to the Nautilus. And Team Dragon Knights, this Nidalee pick, I understand it's very impactful in their hands, or they believe it is, but they're giving up so much to lock this champion down. Giving it over to Eve, though, would probably be a mistake on top of that, though.
All right, looks like it's going to be Braum and Lucian once again for OQ and Trance. If anyone has been doing well, it's been these guys. Just not quite able to convert it into a win just yet. With that Braum and Lucian, that could mean trouble for Team Dragon Knights, for Apex, if they manage to get ahead early on, as there is no Kalista to shut them down. And answer on the opposite side from Apex, Thresh and Sivir. Once again, Thresh going back to its special.
Yeah, Thresh for its special. He's able to make those catches and also keep Police safe. With that ultimate coming through, that really enables Nautilus to do some really mean things. And Graves, because Graves, one of his biggest problems is his unreliability and the fact that he has to run very close to people, and it's hard for him to do so. Oh, I would love that. I would love a top lane Rammus right now. It's a champion that we have not been seeing a lot of at all. I think in NA, the only person who's even picked it was Billy Boss, whereas it's been extremely popular in Europe.
Yeah, LPL, LCK, Europe, pretty much everyone except NA has been taking that Rammus. And it looks like it is going to be locked in.
And Rammus here up against a double AD carry composition. So, could be a jungle Graves. And then they counter pick mid against Ezreal. It could be a Zed again. It could be an assassin coming in. Or they could go with the Graves in the mid lane. And that's going to be, yep, Elise.
Elise locked in for Eve. That's going to put Graves for Keen. And again, they could still switch that top and matchup, so we won't know until we get down to the last few seconds. But Apex, they're back on comfortable picks once again, but so too are Team Dragon Knights.
Keep my eye on it, because if they swap it, that's actually a good matchup for Graves. Graves shoves Rammus in, and Rammus doesn't really get to play League of Legends until 4 minutes in the game, where the wave hits his turret, and even then, Graves gets 8-minute turret against pretty much all AD carries, or sorry, all tanks in the top lane. And with 20 seconds passing, it is going to be Graves in the mid lane for Keen, something that he actually debuted in the Challenger semifinals to great effect with Death's Dance and Phantom Dancer builds.
Once again, the very innovative mid laner Keen back on that Graves. It is locked in. I am excited to see how this is going to work out. Apex are ahead. Question is, can they close it out and claim first place? Let us know by tweeting hashtag APXWin or hashtag TDKWin to @LOL Esports. We haven't seen an updated vote since game number 1, so get on it, guys. We want some more people to get in and get your opinion as we get ready. Again, if Apex win, they're going to win first place for the NACS Spring Playoffs.
Yep, and that puts them immediately up against the number 9 LCS team. They don't have to play that elimination match against the number 10 LCS team. And if you win that one, then you play the number 8 LCS team. So if you lose this, you have a much harder route, not only just by the teams that you face in ranking, you get to play even more, and you have to play an elimination match. And that is, those are multiple things that you don't want. So there is a lot at stake here in this matchup. And Apex, they're on match point.
Can they bring it back? We shall find out as we have loaded onto the Rift for what could be the last time tonight. Keen dancing around in that mid lane as Alex Ich back on that comfortable Ezreal. We saw how incredibly strong he was in that, I believe it was game number 2.
Very comfortable on this Ezreal. The thing is, his OQ plays very mean Ezreal himself. So, OQ maybe a little sad that he doesn't get that champion too much anymore. Oh, he's going crazy! It looks like Cyclops right there.
Yeah. Jarvis going a little crazy there. All right, so looks like we've got some deep wards. Don't really think we're going to be seeing a lane swap this late, as the minions have now spawned.
Nope, no lane swap. It doesn't look like it's going to be a check either. And it's just going to be junglers and top laners starting on the top side of the map. Leashes. And Eve onto the Elise. Didn't get to talk about this too much. He played Elise, believe, one time in the playoffs. He went 4-1 and 8. He's very gank heavy as opposed to farming, and he's not afraid to flash cocoon and just take that risk. And that's the type of player that Eve is at his core. And it's one of the reasons that they take him. This mid lane, though, is actually quite interesting because what's going to happen is Keen will continue to shove over and over and over and over again and just slowly chip away at this turret and take advantage of the lack of wave clear on Ezreal.
Seems like Alex is okay with that so far as he's gotten every single minion.
Oh yeah, you miss CS's Graves because you do this.
Yeah, shoving it up as quick as he can, trying to open up an advantage. You just saw the fan vote on the bottom. Folks right now seem to be thinking Apex are going to be the victors at 55%. We'll see if that is the case, as Flares is trying to play some League of Legends in the top lane. But Chris is just saying no.
Nope.
And Remus says, it's right that you, oh God, leaving me hanging.
He says, damn, this sucks. I wish I could play.
Yeah.
That's what he says, right?
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, it's right next to his
turret. That fits in 7 seconds of VO?
Huh?
That fits in his 7 seconds? I didn't know he had that voice line.
Yeah, this is not a good matchup for him early on, but then he's able to affect things. And usually you'll pick the Rammus into a either another tank, or you pick it into a matchup where it's just a physical damage dealer like Quinn or something.
Oh, getting some damage
Oh,
out.
there's the stun.
Eats a stun in response, but hopefully can get OQ to burn that health potion before Police has to use his.
Yeah, OQ's just going to try to lifesteal back up. Of course, with the new Warlord's Bloodlust and everybody taking it, you really don't have to use your health potion unless you're in a dire situation. CSing under turret for Rammus, it actually isn't that hard either. And look at that! Double turret shots! And here comes Nidalee, Kez!
Uh-oh, Chris. A little bit too far. Flashes the first spear, but Kez isn't done.
Red buff.
Oh, he makes it under the turret.
Fadeaway spear.
Spear, who gets dodged by Chris.
They got the flash out of Chris. They traded Kez's, though. He didn't really have to continue to go aggressive, but Flares with the taunt under turret. Big, big pickup there. And they might get the TP out of Chris, or he's just going to walk back because Rammus can't shove too hard.
Yeah, that looks like a choice. Too much CS. Hook finds Trance. A little bit larger hitbox there. Eve again. A little bit late on the counter gank top lane. Getting his first recall, goes for the warding smite stone. Tracker's knife to keep an eye on Kez. We'll see if he can do what Shrimp did in the last game and actually out CS Kez and out bully him from the jungle.
Look at this again in the bot lane. Just we'll talk about that in a second. Because Flares is fighting Chris, and oh boy.
Oh, wow. Flash used by Flares. Cocoon goes wide.
If it had 150 more range on it, it would have. It's a precise calculation, by the way.
Approximately 3 Teemos.
Yep, they do end up getting Flare's flash off of that. So Eve with the Cocoon. He could have flashed Cocoon, but didn't go for that one. Big wave as well for Chris. So Chris will stay ahead in CS. And I wanted to talk about this bot lane because Police has been able to actually pick up more CS than OQ at most points in the game in this entire series, which is remarkable. And I've said it multiple times now because Police has always been that middle of the pack cleanup AD carry, and a lot of this is actually being attributed to EpicSkillshot, and he's doing a fantastic job.
Ooh, Police spell shields the stun. Still take some bonus damage from it.
You spell shield the stun, but it can immediately be reapplied. They can immediately start stacking the Braum passive again. But that was good because he was able to take the Lantern and just slide away to safety, so he wasn't any worse for wear off of that.
Kez shows himself in top lane, clears out some of the vision for Chris. Trying to put some pressure on to get that Rammus going, but it is so very difficult.
No, it's incredibly difficult. He doesn't have an actual real shield like Nautilus does. He kind of curls into a ball and gets extra resistances.
Eve is coming bottom. Special gives the gank away. Flash play. Can the hook land? Oh, he just barely misses it.
Ooh. Almost, but they get the flash out of OQ, so that's even more lane pressure in exchange for Special's flash. So they trade basically playmaking ability for avoiding playmaking. And Flare's level 6. Chris, not quite there yet, but he's very close.
There goes level 6. The defensive ball curl was just used, so Chris had a window, but decided not to go in because...
Got to roll out of there.
Kez is waiting in that tri-bush.
Yep. Surprise Flares is actually sticking around. There we go. Chris and Flares are both going to back now. A lot of Warlord's Bloodlust across the map, too. 4 Warlord's Bloodlust here. Everybody who's a marksman in this map.
Look at the Keen's build once again. Vamp Scepter, Warlord's Bloodlust.
Yep.
He's going for Graves the Immortal.
You can't push him out of lane, and he's going to get Death's Dance, Phantom Dancer. He doesn't actually need to get Maw at all this game, unless he's worried about Kez. Maybe some CDR would be helpful. We'll see what happens with this Spear here.
Seems like he might have to be, but eats a Spear. Kez decides not to follow it up, though.
Yeah, actually not even swapping forms and diving towards him early on. Had a couple seconds there where he could have. One of the reasons that Graves is so strong in a solo lane right now is Warlord's Bloodlust hitting multiple people off of one auto attack. When you're up against a minion wave, and we'll probably see it a couple times, where you'll see the indicator on like 3 things.
Depth charge.
Flares?
Flares. Here comes Eve. The minion wave is going to be there in time. He repels forward.
Oh!
Onto it. Flash interrupts the knockup, but here comes Kez. They're trying to kill Flares in time.
Eve!
Taunted. A great Cocoon buys enough time. They're turning it around. True Shot Barrage from across the map. Oh! Gets the kill. Shut down by Alex.
A 2 for 1 though, but Alex picks up a kill in the mid lane. Flares is going to miss out on some CS in the top, and that's going to be basically clean up at that point from Alex. Making the best of a bad situation with the True Shot Barrage. He does get double buffs, though, which is going to help him out immensely against this Graves.
Yeah, he's shoving really hard. There's the burn. Doesn't quite get enough damage onto Alex.
Yeah, you really kind of don't do damage to Graves when you're in a skirmish against him. We'll see here as well. Watch for the red indicator from Keen where it hits multiple things.
Oh,
it just looks ridiculous.
So this is that fight once again.
Yeah. Nice lock up there from Nautilus. Pretty simple. The flash to interrupt the ball curl. Turns Flares around. The taunt to keep Eve in place. And Eve immediately turns and cocoons the right person to cocoon to buy time. Ooh. Of course, no repel available because he had used it to close that distance.
And the flash
and the flash
the ball curl.
So no way to avoid it. But good call there by Alex. Gets him closer to that blue Ezreal build and those mid-game power spikes.
Keen continuing to farm it out. That double buff still on Alex for now, making it difficult for Keen to sustain, but he's making do. As everyone continues to farm it up. In the bottom, once again, Police. We're getting close to that 10-minute mark. They're actually recalling. So he will have enough time to clear out those minions as well, unless... Oh, is he going to do it? I'm waiting for the 10-minute mark to actively count his CS advantage. Lead.
He's been doing really well on the Sivir. It's been working wonders for Police. Oh, blue buff, blue buff, blue buff.
Yep. Nope. He hits the blue buff.
He hit it, and...
Oh! Pulls through, but still eats a fat taunt. Gives us a bit of BM.
Oh, Chris and Flares. Not the best of friends in solo queue. They've both actually had a time where they've been #1 in solo queue as top laners, back and forth. As Billy Boss said on Twitter, they are actually mortal enemies. Not very fond of each other.
A little bit of BM as the two tanks trade.
Yeah, basically if you're ever able to BM the other one, you take that opportunity.
You do it.
Try to tilt them.
Get some mastery spam.
Yeah, and Flair's behind in this matchup, and once again, Chris has always been an incredibly dominant top laner, but look at this!
Play. The Cocoon misses for even. He instantly turns back around. Xpecial, though, takes a lot of damage from OQ. Apex looks for Trance, and he gets out alive with another kill for Apex.
They were set up! That was a TP from Flares, and he canceled it. Nobody interrupted. He canceled it.
Oh, no. Maybe getting a bit too trigger happy with that teleport
that was
button.
pretty trigger hacky.
Yeah, where you press it too many times. Oh, no, I can't. Oh. All right, so that's going to be the bottom tier 1 going down. First turret of the game for Apex. They've also got that kill lead. And once again, 11 minutes in, they've got a 2,000 gold lead over TDK.
Yeah, picking up CS advantages top and bottom here. You can see that almost 20 CS advantage for Police. One of the guys that honestly averaged down in CS at 10 minutes up against the CSD leader in OQ, who's just been so dominant throughout the split. OQ's basically shut down. They have to find more damage sources or free him up. He had amazing games in the semifinals where they were playing 4 tanks. Flares on the other side, but there's TP advantage for Apex.
Keen flashes, takes some damage from the true shot. Once again, Trance is in the front. There goes a depth charge. He does. It's Keen. Collateral damage finds some bonus on the Flares and Alex, but they can't follow it up. Hook finds a minion. Chris goes a little too deep.
Yeah, Flares coming from the side, but you have TP on Chris, and you don't have OQ there. You're basically relying on one damage dealer, and I guess Kez at that point. But he's not going to dive in at this stage in the game to that many members. You need your Rod of Ages before you do anything really risky. You need a little bit more durability.
Twelve and a half minutes in. Once again, Apex are in the lead. They've got an advantage in gold, kills, turrets, and even that first dragon. Everything is going their way as they're back on those comfort picks, and once again trying to get TDK out of this final series, because if TDK lose here, that drops them down into second, heading into the promotion tournament.
And TDK are looking to force like a game 5 and try to reverse the momentum onto Apex. These drafts have been back and forth, but Apex have been getting the better of the last few. This Nidalee pick from Kez, he needs to be able to influence the early game, but you're seeing again, he went down so early when he ganked top lane. He hasn't been able to affect them at all.
True Shot Barrage once again clears out the wave. Almost a complete mirror from game number 2. Alex holding on to that mid-tier 1 turret for so long as Ezreal.
Flares picking up armor first up against the Nautilus. I understand that Rammus scales with armor incredibly well, but you usually want at least a Spectre's Cowl before you start dealing with this Nautilus in the top lane. Basically negate all of his magic damage, reduce it, make sure you're in a good spot.
Alex continuing to farm up in the mid. And once again, Flares.
Rift Herald.
Trying to trade it up. Looks like that Herald is being started by Kez. Got some help now from Alex to burn through. Special's waiting over the wall. This isn't Baron. It's not going to do too much for them aside from the
That
front.
eye.
Though Chris is caught. There's a teleport from Keen. Is he going to finish it as Chris is caught out? He is. He turns it into a fight. A hook finds Alex. He's right on top of the box. Gets destroyed by Eve. And it turns out this is indeed a fight that Apex want.
That was just miscommunication from TDK. Alex was still picking up the Rift Herald buff, and he didn't really walk forward towards where the rest of his team was and walked off to the side. Is this going to be a dive on flares?
Yeah, Ramus probably one of the worst people, even a little bit more BM as he looks for the kill, and they are going to find it. Eve, another kill for Apex. 6-1, 15 minutes in.
And OQ has not been a part of any of these fights. 0-0-0 still. He's just farming up and trying to lane, and he's going back and forth, just trying to pick up CS, where the game is happening around him. Has a 3,000 gold lead now for Apex above TDK. Let's watch this again. They end up killing it, hitting in the back. Alex walks over. He's not dealing damage. He wants to run away from the TP, but Trance and Flares are committed. And then Alex doesn't even E over the wall. He doesn't even flash, and he gets hooked by Special, and he dies. If they were able to actually save Alex, or Alex was actually able to react to the hook, or he even went forward, he could have gone towards where the TP was because he would have been completely out of the range of the hook.
Once again,
It's just a split call.
TDK suffering with that new roster. Clearly showing some communication issues in what could very well be one of the most important games they play. Their outcome here could determine their outcome in the promotion tournament.
Yeah.
16 minutes in, and Apex have got everything going their way. Dragon's up in 15 seconds. They already took the first, and with Vision and teleport on Chris, they could look to make Dragon 2 a very real possibility. I chuckle because Chris seems like the BM king this game.
Oh, he is.
Getting the laughing while
It's not just the game. He's the BM king.
Again. I don't even think he wants to recall. I think he wants to bait Ramus into a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he goes.
He's going to go try to find him now.
Okay, there's things happening in the mid lane. Some poke finds Keen.
Yeah, but he's going to be able to lifesteal this back up. He has the completed death stance. Look at that. Just a couple auto attacks and he's good to go already. You usually don't have even close to that much lifesteal this early in the game. But thanks to Warlord's Bloodlust and a flank.
Ooh, not able to land the hook. Flash dodges it.
No E there from Ezreal.
Alex responding properly. And
Oh yeah, he didn't have his E. He used it to go forward.
there's a true shot barrage once again to clear out the minion wave.
I love how Police walks into these abilities. Like, oh, let me take that spear.
He's been so perfect on that Sivir. The hook finds Kez. There's a cocoon on the far side. Keen gets the flank, and they're going to do a lot of damage. Flares TP's in for Special, but that's the support. You need to take down the damage dealers. Ignite buys some time, but Keen has held two people off single-handedly. Apex and TDK.
They want to keep going.
One
Alex.
for one. They're continuing kite. Alex is looking for another one. Double flash, and Keen gets out.
And immediately OQ flashes forward, turns around when he knows he can't get any more out of that. And it looks like it might be the mid lane here in the sights of TDK. Taking down the turret, it'll be their first of the game. They could have gotten way more off of that fight. Kez, though, getting caught. Huge for Apex.
Keen looks like he's going to try to hold Flares. Lands the taunt. Keen's happy to attack him under the turret. He's taking too much damage, though. Flares gets the kill. Here comes the execution from Eve. Does he quite have enough? Oh, an auto attack is going to get it. Meanwhile, Chris in the mid lane teleports in to kill Alex.
He had no backup there because Trance went over to help Flares, who was already going to die.
Oh, man. Again, the miscommunication for TDK, causing them to hemorrhage kills, causing them to hemorrhage turrets. And slowly but surely, Apex are opening up that gold lead more and more, up to 4,500 now, looking towards that Dragon number 2 to put them in even more of a comfortable position.
Oh, looking back at that, Trance, he did have an opportunity to save both of his teammates, basically select who was going to die. Rosemary's Baby. Or sorry, oh no, what is it called? Sophie's Choice. There you go. Sophie's Choice. Rosemary's Baby's completely different. Don't worry about it. He has his father's eyes. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Oh, Trance goes a little
No.
too deep.
He couldn't forgive himself for what happened last time.
I must pay for what I've done. And he does. He gives another kill over to Apex, who take it happily. Goon finds flares before he can get the ball curl off, so some good damage chunks him low.
And TDK, the game is just falling apart around them. It's just one little thing after another. They're losing top lane. They're slowly losing mid lane. Eve is coming to this game and has 100% kill participation, 4-1-6 on this Elise. He's been doing work. And you are seeing, despite the fantastic performance that Shrimp had in the previous game and in game 1, that this is why they run this. This is why they try to change up the style. And this is the most action-packed game we've had in this series. It's usually been pretty dormant in the middle. You can see here, Alex takes some turret shots, hooked back in.
Oh, man.
He had turret aggro because he had previously shot off some
onto Keen.
Qs onto Keen to finish him. But off on the right side, Trance had an opportunity to save flares because he could have just W'd and E'd and blocked that last Elise auto attack.
Yeah. Didn't find it. Unfortunately, wasn't able to keep him alive. And
Keen's
at the
caught.
bottom, hops to the wall, but there goes the X Drinker. He's able to keep himself healing, dodges the spear and True Shot Barrage.
It's a good pickup there with the Hex Drinker.
Keen gets out as Scuttle Crab is secured for Kez, but Scuttle Crab seems like a weak consolation prize to 4-1-6 on that Elise.
Yeah, 4-1-6 for Eve. Huge. You can see the CS numbers as well. Kez previously was having to compete with Shrimp back and forth. Eve doesn't give a damn about CS. He doesn't care. He's like, I'll be a level down. I'll be 40 CS down. That's fine. I'm affecting the map. I'm affecting my lanes as opposed to controlling the jungle. And it's kind of which one came first? Controlling the jungle and then getting the ganks, or getting the ganks and then controlling the jungle? And that's the difference between the two junglers.
I think it's the egg.
Yeah. Eve likes to gank first, ask questions later. Ward later, I guess.
Retroactive wards are pretty solid. He does have the Tracker's Knife, though. We talked about that earlier. So he is still trying to get some vision for his team. Flares looks to catch Keen in the bottom lane.
Okay. It's like, he still has Tracker's Knife. Yeah, I mean, he still puts vision down. He's not a barbarian. He's not a savage here.
Of
course he's going to ward for his team.
Exactly what Keen wants, to be auto-attacking nonstop. Oh, but he actually takes a lot of damage from this.
It's the Thornmail. It's going
yeah, there it is.
Defensive Ball Curl and Thornmail. First item for Flares. And even more armor to come.
This Rammus is not done being tanky. Police wants that minion. There he goes. Gets two of them.
He's hanging back, though.
Yeah, he smells something fishy.
Yeah, TDK, 2 members in that bush. It would be very hard to kill Sivir as well. He has Spell Shield for the stun, and then he also has Ultimate to get away. I don't see him going down.
There goes a Wolf Spirit spotting out Apex as they look for it. They don't really have too much vision over here, so they're buying some time for Police to shove forward with their vision. Buying some time. Keen now splitting in the bottom lane. Not able to make anything happen because Flares is answering right now.
I see Alex over the wall. Alex. Oh man, the wave clear again is a problem for TDK.
Ooh, hook not long enough for Special.
Here comes the TP from Rammus. Flares.
Oh, TP answering.
Oh, there he goes. Okay, he's gone.
The Rammus drift in the river.
He had to get out of here.
Do I fight? Do I fight? Do I fight? I don't know.
Oh!
Oh, now you do. Chris decides to pull the trigger, but he's got no mana. Takes the lantern to safety, though.
Yeah, Chris has no mana, so fighting wouldn't actually be the worst thing in the world here. That.
I'm in vision.
He's thinking about it.
I'm in vision. I'm out.
He was thinking about it.
It's a tough decision to make.
No, it's not. You roll straight into it.
There goes the True Shot Barrage down mid lane, and TDK, they're going to get some really good damage onto the tier 1. In fact, break it down. Hook is going to find Flares. He's the tank. Flash. Hook is going to find Alex, but he hops out of it. There goes a knock up onto OQ. Trance in the front, force the flash back as the Spiderlings lead the charge for them. And with all of those summoner spells used, it looks like TDK get out with their lives.
TDK, I don't know how they killed this Nautilus. It's going to take a very long time. No penetration items just yet. He has 2 armor items with the Sunfire Cape and the Glacial Shroud. which will be a Frozen Heart eventually against a double AD comp. And then he has enough HP to absorb Nidalee Spears, plus he has magic resistance. So it's going to be so hard to kill Chris. Whereas on the flip side, killing flares isn't actually too challenging. Despite the defensive ball curl, Eve has 2 AP items, and then you also have the base damage of, or the high base damage of the 6.4 Nautilus Riptide. So no magic resistance on flares. He's going to be feeling that soon.
Ooh, Flare's looking for the minions. There he goes. Now he's starting to get a few.
Just ulti for him.
It's on like a 60-second cooldown.
Yeah, Tremors is a great ultimate for taking turrets and also clearing out minion waves. It does take a moment to do that, though. But I really like it for taking turrets. It's one of Rammus's strong suits because normally tanks aren't good split pushers or turret takers. That's why Mundo, when the E would affect turrets, was such a strong champion because when he would reach the turret, he'd be able to decimate it. And Rammus does the same thing. But it's so hard for him to get lane priority that getting to a turret is always very challenging, especially against another tank.
Dragon number 3 being picked up for Apex. Means the possibility of a 37-minute Dragon 5.
And these dragons are just going so quickly in the series.
Interesting to see how they're prioritizing these neutral objectives so well over turrets and fighting. 25.5 minutes in. Apex still in the lead, but having a bit of difficulty continuing to open up more advantages. And in fact, they seem to be content to just sit on the lead that they have.
3 members top. Chris. They're waiting. Oh. Nope, not anymore.
Yeah, they're not waiting anymore.
Keen in the bot lane. Graves on turrets. He kills turrets so quickly. This turret's going down.
Yeah, this tier 2 is going to drop. There goes the True Shot Barrage, but
Not enough.
Keen's still going to get it. And heals right back up to full. There's flares.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons that we were seeing Graves banned over and over again in this series. Yeah, just throw it out there. Just, even if it's in front of you.
Look,
Fine.
I'm just throwing this out here. Okay.
Yeah, he's not a collie. He just tries to go into the smoke, disappear.
I mean, to be fair, that is a pretty cool exit to the bottom lane. When Rammus shows up, just drop a smoke bomb and walk away like a ninja.
Not quite. No invisibility for Graves. He doesn't really need that. But still, incredibly strong. Has the Maw, second item. Pickaxe in his inventory as well. I assume.
Titanic Hydra.
I assume it's an Infinity Edge.
He's basically a melee champion anyway.
It could be an Infinity Edge. It could also be a Last Whisper.
Yep.
Which would not be a bad purchase.
Against Rammus?
Yeah. And Ezreal.
Really?
Yeah. Iceborne Gauntlet.
But you get more damage with a Last Whisper over...
Huh?
Because Last Whisper is only 40% armor penetration.
Yeah.
Bonus armor penetration.
Yeah. Iceborne Gauntlet.
Okay.
Didn't you just say you'd get more damage with the Last Whisper? What?
So that was the question then.
Oh, no. You wouldn't get more damage with the Last Whisper against Ezreal. Just saying.
Oh, it just does more for him.
It will be useful.
Okay.
Because it's not just for a single person. And there it is, Mortal Reminder. Yeah. So that's actually really good against Ezreal because it stops Blade of the Ruin King healing by a decent amount as well.
Grievous wounds.
Yep.
28 minutes in.
So now it's good against Ezreal.
Problem solved. Not seeing a lot of regeneration.
No, not really in particular, but it wouldn't... If he went Lord Dominic's Regards, once he gets Sterix, it would put him above pretty much everybody except for Braum and Rammus in HP. So the Mortal Reminder makes a lot of sense for the lifesteal. It'll be effective on 3 champions. If Nidalee heals herself as well.
Police is doing this on purpose. I'm pretty sure he's walked into skills at least as many times.
Can't tell if good or great.
I mean, I think the consensus we settled on was great. His out CSing, not currently, but during the laning phase.
Last Whisper for OQ. So he's going to be doing a decent amount of damage to Chris again. Once again. It's always kind of sad in that mid game where you don't have a Last Whisper and you're up against a tank like that. Oh, not quite that time.
Nobody saw that, Police. Your integrity is safe.
Yeah, I think there was that 2 traps? Regardless.
Still very patient. Apex waiting on that 35-minute Dragon 4.
Man, as soon as I said this was the most action-packed early game, with 13 kills,
It's the antithesis.
they go and do this. 5,000 gold lead for Apex.
Oh, 31-minute Dragon 5.
Yeah, 31-minute, very close.
That's right, because it was a 37.
31-minute Dragon 5 or Dragon 4?
31-minute Dragon 4.
Yes.
And 37-minute Dragon 5.
Yeah. It's all right, just like before with math. Unlucky.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
But Kez in the top lane, farming it out, pushing it, and this just becomes a dance for the Baron now for Apex. And Apex, they might do what they did previously, start up the Baron, bait it, and then pop Sivir ultimate and run straight at them. It's a possibility. We haven't actually been seeing this Sivir utilized to full effect, and I think that's something that leaves a lot to be desired here.
Players is on the hunt for a pink ward, and he finds it.
Yeah. Rolling in. Oh, I found it. Got it. Right here, guys.
Got it.
That's what I meant to do.
Confirmed. No Evelyn's going to get by that team.
Yeah. There is an Eve, though. Not the same kind.
Yeah, the wave clear from Police defends that mid tier 2. Dragon's now up in 50 seconds, and TDK have got vision to the entrance to the river, but don't want to take any chances with the pit itself.
Yeah, this is big for TDK. 6,000 gold down. Dragon 4 pretty much in the works for Apex here as they shove out mid lane. And winning a fight is going to be so difficult, but it might be the last fight of the Challenger Series for them before promotion.
Yeah, Hook finds Flares. He's pulled in and drops a half. True Shot finds 3 members. Keen joining the rest of his team. Knockout finds Chris, but Flares goes down with a huge execution. Police take some big damage, but it's still fine.
Able to keep Flares so close that the defensive ball curl wears off and he just blows up as soon as it goes down. Police retreating, and he gets back.
Yeah, very greedy recall, but is able to get away with it. He's now going to be able to join up with the rest of his team, but Flares has got his teleport there. Ping's now going on to Dragon. This is number 4 for Apex. Again, a win here clinches the series, puts them in first place for the playoffs, and gets them that higher seed into the promo tournament.
Much closer to qualifying for the LCS. At that point, 5 teams go in, only 3 teams come out, but if you win this, you are one of 4 teams, and 3 of those teams make it in.
Yeah.
So basically a 1 in 4 chance, whereas otherwise you're part of 1 team out of 5, and there's elimination for you as well.
TDK are doing Baron in the
Desperate Baron here.
Chris is
They're
on
flanked.
the side, ready to flank, but
Oku!
they're gonna try turning on Chris. Oki was caught and gets destroyed by Police. Another hook is gonna find Trance. They turn on to Alex, trying to shred through. Eve does so much, he flashes the wall, but Eve follows. He flashes to end up securing it. The hook goes wide, but the 2 primary carries for TDK are dead.
That was huge. The cocoon onto OQ and the follow-up afterwards. This is why they put Eve in. Still 100% kill participation for the jungler.
This is going to be Baron secured by Apex. No sneaky spears out of Kez. 13-3, 60,000 gold to 50. Apex have got the lead.
That might be the nail in the coffin. That cocoon past Flares into OQ. No QSS on him because he went for the last whisper. And the follow-up hook and just the cleanup here. Damage dealers going down. And those are the 2 damage dealers from the side of TDK gone. It's a free Baron at that point for Apex.
They've got everything in their favor and are looking to close this out. Chris even giving a little bit more while he waits for his team. Not even going to bother with the split push. As 5, they're going to try rushing down this mid lane.
Look at this Eve build. He's got that old school Leandri's Torment, Rylai's Crystal Scepter.
That brings me back.
And then Abyssal Scepter afterwards. This is a full AP Elise at this point.
That brings me back.
What is that? 360 AP on this jungler. He plays for damage.
It's been paying off so well so far.
Yeah, it has.
6, 1, and 7.
It's been paying for itself so far.
Yeah.
It's just, oh yes, I will take that kill. And Keen had this champion that was banned against him so much. Taking the TP on Graves, it's almost a dead giveaway that he wants to split push at some point and get tier 2 turrets, which Graves easily can accomplish.
Yeah, he's pulling flares away. There's no teleport to get flares in while the rest of the team looks for this middle inhibitor. Apex trying to end. They're going to have to wait for the next minion wave, though, as the wave clear is successful. But looks like they might head top to join up with Keen and finish off this next inhibitor. They've even got a minion wave in bottom.
Yeah, this minion wave just shoving in. See what happens here. That flare's caught again.
Takes big damage. He's still got the ball curl for a few seconds. Knock up. Finding what Trance is caught. Eve is godlike getting that kill. Police clears the wave almost instantaneously as he looks for yet another one. Some good poke damage is going over the wall from Alex, Kez, and Okyu, but they just can't lock anyone from Apex down.
Yeah, but Apex don't have that reverse problem. It is Hook City here with some cocoons on top of it. Apex have so much pick potential. Speaking of pick, wait a second.
Collateral damage is not enough. There goes a teleport. Chris is looking to get in. He actually based, he's got home guard, and gets a BM off before he tries to go in. The top inhibitor is going down. The split map pressure is pulling TDK apart. The inhibitor falls. Alex has to watch it crumble, and his team just can't respond.
And TDK so far behind now, 13,000 gold and 23 seconds left on this Baron. We're 2 minutes away from a Dragon 5 for Apex. They have so many ways to close this game out. TDK, they might have to start thinking about what their strategy is for the promotion tournament in that first round.
Very dire situation for TDK. Backs against the wall. Top inhibitor is down, which is the best one for getting those super minions to pressure and pull someone away from that Dragon 5. You can see the timer counting down right now. That could be the timer for the end of TDK's collegiate run. This isn't collegiate.
You've been casting too much collegiate.
Yeah.
Here, start completely over again.
Okay.
No. It's all right. Yes, 2 minutes from now.
Challenger Series, yeah.
That could be TDK ending their Challenger Series run.
90 seconds on the clock. 36 minutes into the game, Apex getting nearly a 5,500 gold Baron power play. Up to 13,000 gold ahead of TDK. They're just waiting for that final nail in the coffin to lock it out. Even another blasting wand from Eve. I hope it's a Void Staff.
I don't know, but it's going to be amazing, and it'll probably never be completed. It's a secret item we've never heard of before.
We'll find out. I mean,
it's a Rabadoodle Death Cap.
Rabadoodle Death Cap. We'll see. I mean, this game couldn't be over. TDK could try to defend. I mean, they have to try to defend.
It is true.
Their playoff are on the line.
They have to. I mean, or they could surrender. But I mean, they have to.
I don't think that's what they want there.
No, nobody wants to, unless you're like late for dinner or something. It's like a really good dinner.
True Shot Barrage across the minions clears the wave. That's the big option being used.
The Sivir Ricochet. It's great because it'll bounce off the first ones really fast. You'll see all these crits come up.
Flares
but hold on.
Fight. Keen's on the far side. Flares, dodges around a few. He's looking for police but can't find him. But Flares has already jumped out. He dies. Naka forces the disengage. But Apex aren't done just yet. Okyu gets caught by the hook. Chris continues to chase with the rest of his team. Trance is on the far side. He's not going to escape from the rod lines. The hook finds Alex. He goes down. That's 3 members dead. Make it 4. They're looking for 5. Apex are looking for the win to win this Challenger Series playoffs. Even a teleport from Keen, they're pushing on to the Nexus turrets. They're going to be able to take this series.
And the hooks have been coming up big all game long for Apex, substituting in Eve. He ends the game 7-1 and 11, and with 100% kill participation, but that's also Apex 100% into the double elimination bracket.
Yeah, taking the win in a very patient, methodical game. They had the advantage and they just played it out over and over. Wait for someone to get out of position, try to pick people off, and it worked out so well for them. The Comfort Champions coming through for Apex.
Yeah, having more engage and more ways to start these fights off, and they just won pretty much all the lanes down the line. They had that Graves in the mid lane. With the Vamp Scepter, you're not going to be able to shove him out of lane at all. And then the top lane, Nautilus, just those early 2 kills that happened, shut down the Nidalee first pick from Kez again. And that's how they ended up winning this game, is Apex, the snowball from Eve, from the entire squad. They gave up 3 deaths total.
Yeah, and that is Apex looking happy as they clear this out. 3-1, an exact mirror of what we saw in the semis. Take game 1, drop game 2, then close the series out with another 2 wins. Very, very solid stuff we're seeing out of Apex, and now they only have to win 1 best-of-5 in the promotion tournament to make it back, to make it into the LCS back for some of these players.
Exactly. They will be playing against the 9th place LCS team, which we don't know until after this weekend.
Yeah.
So 9th place LCS team will be playing up against Apex, and the 10th place will play TDK. And it is a possibility that Alex may have to play against Renegades.
Oh, that would be a very, very fun match if we get to see that happen.
You can see Saint there.
Yeah, smiling with his team.
I mean, this is the 2nd time that he's coached a team in Challenger to the promotion tournament. Back-to-back as well.
Yeah.
He's worked with a lot of these guys, too. He played alongside Keen. He played alongside Special. He coached Chris previously. So this squad is just made up of a lot of players that he's worked with before. Shrimp as well, he coached previously. So the only like real new people were Police and Eve, and they both seem to be rather good additions to the squad, especially Police in this series. That was big because he was supposed to be a liability on paper versus OQ, and that was just not the case today.
That was the concern, but he did come up so strong. And on top of that, bringing in the secondary junk. I don't even know if you can call him a secondary junk.
I don't know if you call them that, but I don't think they're like second fiddle to each other at all, or it's A or B. I honestly think it's like a Faker Easy Hoon situation back when it was one of them plays this champion pool and the other one really plays this one. And despite like, you know, one is Faker, it's just Shrimp and Eve are pretty much different stylistically, and the team is able to shift because one is going to control the jungle and the enemy jungler, and the other one's going to try and control the lanes and gank. So whatever you want to play to, and they both actually work fairly well. Whichever one you want to play to, you have your pick of the litter.
Yeah, very, very solid stuff we're seeing out of Eve. And the fact that he had 100% kill participation. Yeah. He got away with a 100% damage Elise build. Call back to Season 3, Season 2 even. This is crazy stuff. Apex, they're going to be celebrating pretty hard tonight.
Yeah, Apex, of course, they play against the 9th place. Still don't know who that's going to be just yet. But, of course, they only have to win 1 out of 2 best-of-5s. And that's big, because you don't want to play that elimination match, and they don't have to.
Yeah, well, let's head down to Freak. Standing out